Hi everyone, it's Chanel with Color Me Stylish, and I'm coming back this week with a new video. So I just kind of wanted to touch up again on the glow video that I did the week before, just kind of getting your body and your face and just your skincare in general glowing and get ready for either beach, wedding, or whatever next event that you have coming. And so this week I wanted to kind of touch on that and just do a glowy makeup look, and just kind of sticking with more pinks and peaches just to kind of highlight that glow. So that's a look I'm going to be doing. So thank you so much for joining me, and let's go ahead and get started. So if you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you. I love doing skincare videos, makeup looks, and also just different fashion looks and trends, things like that that are out. If that interests you, I would love to have you. Go ahead and hit that button and hit your notifications. I upload videos every Thursday. So just to kind of go in, I've already washed my face and just cleansed it and everything like that. And I'm just gonna go in with my Thayer's toner. Sorry, this is like one of my favorite toners to use, and I just like to kind of just go in and just wipe away any excess like dirt and oil, things like that that I may have on my face. And this just kind of also helps in just bringing back that pH balance to your face. And I know for me, I do have combination skin, and I notice that when I don't use a toner, my face just produces a lot more oil because it's trying to get back to that pH. And so again, yes, you will start to see like, whatever is left over on your face will be there. So I had some other lotions and things like that on my face. And then I had a little bit of a concealer this morning because I just kind of ran out the house to run a quick errand. So I just want to kind of clean that up and kind of start with a really clean base to do my makeup look. And now I'm going to be going in with my CRV. This is the Facial Moisturizing Lotion in SPF 30. So this, because I know I'm going to be going back out, and with this makeup look, this can be something that you can wear every day. It's not like too dramatic. It's just nice and airy and light and glowy, and that's the look that I want to go for. But because I am going to be going back outside and kind of just meeting up with some friends later for lunch, I definitely want to protect my skin. So I try to use or I do use an SPF lotion every single day. And again, because we are at a high altitude especially, I can be more prone to getting burned from the sun. And then I'll be traveling this weekend to Cabo as well. So I just want to make sure that I always incorporate an SPF into my skincare regimen. So now that I've done my SPF, I am going to be going in, and this is the Kat Von D, the Locket, and it is the hydrating primer and base. And so for this whole look, I just want everything to be glowy and hydrated and just really moisturized looking. So I just didn't want to do, a primer that was too thick. This is really nice because I can just kind of get into the areas that I need. It's, again, moisturizing, which I have been needing lately. And if you have dry skin, this is a really nice primer to use. And it just it's really smooth. It just kind of gets in everywhere. So I just kind of want to rub that in. I know sometimes it kind of, with my SPF, it can kind of leave, white marks in different places that I put it, but it does kind of blend in, and once I use my foundation that I'm going to be using, you won't see any of that. And because I am keeping this makeup look as light as possible for my foundation, I am going to be using, this is the NYX Bear With Me in the Luminous Tinted Skin Serum. I picked this up the last time I was in Houston, if you guys saw that video, and I will link that at the top of just like some really good finds that I found the last time I was out there at Target. So this is something that I wanted to try, only because I don't need just a heavier foundation. I just need something that's just a little bit lighter, just for like some of the areas that I have on my chin, from like past zits or things like that, just a couple of dark marks. So I just wanted something that will give me that tint. Another good foundation that I do want to try is from Rihanna, and it's like her bare skin tint. I know I'm not saying like the name properly. I will link that down below as well, but that's like a really nice sheer foundation that she has as well that I definitely want to try. So with this one, it does have like a little topper, and it's more for you to just kind of like squeeze that out onto your hand, but it doesn't, I have to kind of like shake it down, things like that. So what I'm going to do is just kind of open that up just so I can really get to the area that I need, like that's actually in there. And I'm just going to start, just kind of grab just a little bit with, you know, a little bit of a flatter kind of like rounded brush, and I'm just going to kind of place it in those areas that I just want to cover, because it's not a whole bunch. I just want to keep this as light as possible, and just the areas that I have a little bit more you know, hyperpigmentation or dark marks from, you know, past zits, things like that, or new zits, as you can see. I feel like every time I do a video or a makeup look, I have like a breakout, so, but that's okay. It's normal skin, it happens. So I'm just gonna kind of pat that into some of the areas that I want. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my concealer. So the concealer I'm going to be using, this is from Maybelline, and this is the Instant Age Rewind. And I like this because it just has more of a click, so you can just kind of get a little bit at a time, and it already has an added sponge to that. And I'm just going to kind of dot that in underneath my eye just to kind of brighten that up. And then I like to put a little bit on the top of my eyelids and just a little bit down, and some right here, but nothing too much, because I want this to be, again, not like a full glam look, but just something that is highlighting and just kind of giving that look of just luminous, fresh, you know, light skin. Before I go ahead and just kind of, you know, get that all in, I am going to take my Caudalie. This is their Beauty Elixir Smoothing and Glowing Complexion Spray, and this is available at Sephora. This is a recent purchase or repurchase that I've made. I used to always, you know, buy the smaller amount and I just love the smell and how it feels so much. And again, I've had this in the fridge as well, but I just love to kind of just spray this on. It's not so much a makeup setting spray, but just more to just kind of, because it has a little bit of a facial oil inside, it just kind of adds to that glow of the skin and just gives it a really nice, delicious, beautiful, you know, luxurious smell as well that I just absolutely love. So I'm just going to go ahead. I want to shake that up, and I'm just going to spray that in. And then what I'm going to do, and this has been like one of my new tricks that I really like to do, is I like to take a bowl of ice water and just kind of soak my sponge. Oops, I'm like spraying stuff. Soak my sponge and just kind of, you know, squeeze out the excess water. And because it's nice and cold, I'm just going to use that just to kind of pat in my makeup and just kind of, you know, it almost acts, because it's cold, it's going to kind of shrink those pores. It's going to give that really nice smooth effect to the skin while getting that makeup just patted in everywhere. And it's cooling to the skin. Feels amazing, and it just, with that cold water, it's just going to lock in that foundation and that concealer that you put into your skin. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pat that in, and I know I kind of just probably went in and patted a little bit longer than I needed to, but just having that cold water just that sponge on my face just to kind of pat it in. It's very refreshing, it's very relaxing, and for doing your morning makeup, this is a really good tip to try as well, because it's gonna depuff your face as well, so you don't have to put any cold patches or rollers or anything on your face. You can kind of just hit everything up at the same time by putting on your foundation, your concealer, and then also cooling the face to kind of bring down any, you know, puffiness that you've had the night before. That I'm going to just kind of go ahead and I'm going to lightly just dust, you know, or set some of the areas that I know I do get a little bit more oily, but I'm not going to do too much because I want this to be, you know, a look that is as light as possible. So I'm just going to take a smaller rounded brush like this, and I'm going to be going in with a tiny bit, and this is my Laura Mercier, and this is a translucent medium deep, the loose setting, and this is also available in Sephora as well. So I'm just gonna take like the least amount possible, and because as you can see I get like oily right here, I'm just going to set my eyebrows before I start to do those, and just a little bit right here. So it's not going to take away that nice luminous look to the skin that I have, but I'm just going to kind of press that into the skin just to kind of set the areas that I know I get a little bit more oily, and just to kind of set, you know, those places. But that's it. I'm not going to do like a full-on baking because I don't want to have that stark line, and I don't want it to get too dry with my skin, especially after the process of kind of like setting it with the cold water and adding that spray. So I still want to have that really nice glow and that sheen to my skin. So I'm just going to just lightly go over a skin colored, you know, setting powder just to kind of lock that in before I do my brows. I'm going to be going in, this is the NYX brow pencil. This is like one of my favorites, and it's in the color, or it's an eye pencil, so you can use it for eyeliner or brows. I love using it for my brows, but it's in SPE 931. It's in their black brown, and I like to just kind of go in and just kind of make the outline of the eyebrows, or the shape that I like to use for my eyebrows. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so after I've done the outline, I'd like to go in, and this is from Morphe in their chocolate mousse, and this is in their brow pomade, and I'm just using a slanted brush just to kind of get a little bit of that product, and then that's what I like to use just to kind of fill in the rest of my eyebrows and just kind of get that more natural look and just kind of fill those all in. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just kind of finished up my eyebrows off camera. So just kind of going in with the brow pomade and just kind of filling it in. And then I like to take a spoolie and just kind of, you know, brush those upwards just to kind of create a more fluffy eyebrow look. I do like a little bit more of a thicker eyebrow look for myself personally. I remember in the past when I think that was just like more of like the 1990s, you know, early 2000s. Just, yes, I'm telling my age, I am 42. But just kind of, you know, more thinner, where it's like I feel like with them being a little bit more thicker, for me it just kind of gives a little bit more of a more youthful look to my face. So that is currently the look that I'm doing right now, but you can kind of adjust that to whatever you like as well. So now what I am going to be going in with is I'm going to be doing my eyeshadow, and again I'm going to be doing this really nice and kind of staying on the colors of more just gold tones, peach tones, things like that, just to kind of give that really nice airy, beachy, you know, just, you know, seaside look. And for that I am going to be using coral Obsessions, of course, by Huda Beauty. And I just love the colors that they have in this palette. Sorry, it's a little bit messy, but it does have, and I'll bring this a little bit closer and just kind of let that focus in. Sorry, it's like kind of trying to focus on me. Let me bring it back a little bit. But yes, it does have just a lot of, you know, just like the coral colors, gold tones, reds, yellows, things like that. And I'll do a close-up so you guys can kind of see a better look of this palette and the colors that they do have in this. But for that, for this look, I'm going to be doing just a lighter of the peach, and then I'm going to highlight with this coral gold tone as well, just to kind of add that in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now with more of the coral, and I'm just going to be using just a more fluffier brush because I'm not doing any, you know, hard cut crease or anything like that. So I just want to kind of have something that's just going to distribute this color all over, and I'm just going to kind of pat that in before I start to blend. And so I did forget to kind of, you know, mention to you guys that I did kind of get my eyebrows redone. I got them filled in, and I had her add just a little bit more hairs just for a little bit more fullness, but still more natural. So I'm very happy with them. I can't believe that this is the first time I've ever had eyelash extensions, but I really like them. I can't feel anything. She did a really amazing job. And yeah, I will definitely be doing these again, but I do want to be able to kind of do these and then kind of take a break just so that I don't have too much eyelash damage, and just kind of keep them healthy and just take a break and be able to wash my face in the way that I used to. And I'm so used to moisturizing my eyelashes with my Aquaphor every night. So it's like when I go in to kind of do my skincare, I'm so used to just really diving in there and scrubbing all around, and I have to like constantly remind myself that I have eyelash extensions and I can't do that. So that's been something to get used to, but I'm not complaining. I do love them. I loved how they turned out, and I don't have to fight with lashes and things like that when I'm ready to go out. So that's been the exciting part. So I'm just going to take this coral and again just do the other side and just kind of tap that in to my eyelids and just kind of blend that out because I'm just going for a really light look. So nothing too heavy. I want it to be there, but not there. So this is almost like just a glowy, no makeup look, if that kind of makes sense. Just something that you can wear either every day, or you can wear this to the beach, or you can just wear this to a wedding. It'll go with pretty much any outfit. And so that is the look that we're going for today. Okay, so now I'm going to be going in, and this is more of the coral color. And again, I will do close-ups of these so you can kind of see, but it just has that really beautiful, just coral color to it, and it just has that really nice sheen. So I'm just going to add that just right here, just to kind of add to that sheen. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the excess on the other eye so I don't have too much. And I like to kind of pat in my colors just to kind of make them just kind of set a little bit before I start to, you know, blend them out. Sorry, I couldn't think of that word at the second. And just kind of put it all over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my bigger brush. I love this one. I can't remember where, this is from e.l.f. So this is actually a concealer brush, but I just love how fat it is because I can really get in and really blend out the colors and just like cover more surface. Okay, so now that I've blended it out, I'm going to go back in with the same palette and I'm going to use the same kind of peachy color that I used in the beginning for the top and just kind of blow off a little bit of that excess. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of add a little bit of that color underneath here and just kind of rub that in just to kind of draw down some of that color as well. And just kind of blend that in as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in with a smaller brush. So I love, you know, just brushes like this were a little bit more tapered and small because it just kind of gets into that area so perfectly. So I'm going to be going in with this color towards the bottom. This is a little bit more of, it's like a combination between this peach and a little bit more gold. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and I'm just going to kind of place that right into this tear duct area just to kind of really highlight that area and just kind of brighten that up. For blush, I am going to be using, this is the brand Milani, and it is in their Coral Crush color, and it's in their cream blush. So I thought that was perfect for this look today, just kind of keeping up with all of the coral colors and just, you know, that whole just beach inspired makeup look. And so I'm going back in and I went ahead and I dipped my sponge back into the ice water and just kind of squeezed out the excess. And I'm just going to kind of dip that in and I'm going to just go ahead and I like kind of placing that on this higher, you know, just some like a little bit here and then just kind of drawing the eye up on my cheekbone as well and just kind of adding in that color. But that's so pretty. I really like that. And again, because it's been dipped in that water and that cold water, it just kind of almost just closes those pores. It brings down any puffiness that you have and just kind of adds to that really nice sheen that it gives you on your face and just kind of makes it just really luminous and moisturized and healthy looking. A hint of that peach color to the face. And then what I'm going to be doing just to kind of add a little bit more of that sheen, this is one of my favorites. Somebody or a friend of mine introduced me to this product. It was probably like 2 years ago for my birthday, and it's their Future Dew. And I have to say, this goes a long way. I've had this probably for about a year and a half or something like that. I've had this for quite some time, but it just a little bit goes a long way. And what I like to do is just kind of that much. Literally, that's all I like to use, and I like to kind of just blend it onto my face or onto my hand, sorry, and just kind of taking that middle finger and just kind of adding a little bit of that. So instead of using a powdered highlighter, this just acts as a natural highlighter to the face and just kind of really, like the product says, it just kind of gives that skin that super dewy look and just kind of adds to that moisture in the areas that you need it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use a little bit more, and I'm just going to dab a little bit into my makeup sponge and just kind of make sure that's all blended in. But I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pat that into the different areas of my face just to kind of add to that glow and that dewiness of this makeup look. And now for the lips, I'm going to be using 2 products. This one is from Sephora, and if I can find the color, it is in the color N21 in Fresh Peach, and it is their liquid, you know, just everyday brand lip gloss. And I just love, it's like the tiny little wand. It's so cute. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to place that right in the middle. And then I am going to follow up, and this is by NYX, and it is in the color A Bit of Honey. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of place that all over and just kind of let that blend in. And with a smaller rounded brush, and now that I'm all set, I'm just going to kind of go in and just touch up small areas that might need a little bit more setting, or that I might be getting, you know, excess oil, but I don't want to apply the powder to the whole face just because I want to keep that really nice natural glow going, but just using something, and again, in the same color, the Laura Mercier, and this is, you know, for my skin tone, the darker translucent. So just kind of using that to kind of pat in certain areas that I know I tend to get just excess oil production, and just kind of set those areas, but leaving the other ones to look dewy and nice. The look I was going for. Okay, and that's it. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the face. So instead of just spraying it all over, I recently picked this up, and this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Matte. And again, because I do get that extra shine, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this, kind of shake that up, and I'm going to spray this onto my Beauty Blender. And I'm just going to get that in there and kind of just tap off any excess that I have. And I'm just going to press this into the skin. So instead of just like, you know, spraying it on, this is really just going to melt everything together, and it's going to help your makeup last so much more longer than just spraying it on. And then you also don't get those, like, you know, water beads, or, you know, those marks that are left behind from spraying your face. So just kind of taking that and really just patting that setting spray into your face is really going to make your makeup last so much longer. And it's just going to make everything just melt all together. So it just looks like you have like perfect skin. And just kind of getting that in there. And that is the final look. Dewy, beachy, airy, and just great for every day. This is definitely a go-to for spring, for summer look. It's easy, it's just, you know, lightweight, so it doesn't feel too cakey or heavy on the skin. And so yeah, that is the look, and I thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you. I love sharing skincare tips and makeup looks and fashion looks and home looks, all those things that I love to do. I just love sharing what I love with you. I will see you guys in my next video. Stay safe.